Hi, everyone. This is Hussein from EFXCO. We are a training center based in Cyberjaya, Malaysia. Um, Firstly, my team and I would like to wish everyone to stay strong and safe during these trying times. Let me just bring down volume a bit. Okay, right. So the reason we are going online today is to talk about a software suite by the company called Serif. They are giving an offer for their Affinity Photo designer and publisher, and they are giving a 90-day trial instead of a 14-day trial. And after which, when you are done with the trial, you can purchase the software at half of the price. Okay, so with me today, I have my chat moderator, Mr. Hakim. So if you have any questions that you want to ask, if I'm not able to pick it up, Encik Hakim will try and help you out. I'm also looking at some feeds on my left and right here to make sure that we have the light, everything's going on right, yeah? Okay, coming back to the deal, I must say that it's a pretty good deal, especially when you are a freelancer or a person who runs a studio and trying to lower your overheads, especially during this period. If you're currently subscribed to the Adobe suites, you might want to consider look at this and consider this. Yeah. So let's get into it. Hopefully you have downloaded the trial version and had a go at it. If not, there was a link that we put in our registration page, and I'm sure Hakim will also put the link at the bottom of the chat so you guys can download and try the software. Yeah. Okay. So if you are familiar with Photoshop, Affinity Photo is very similar to it, and I have been I've been using it for quite a while now, and I find that the keyboard shortcuts and the layout is almost similar. Okay. Um, Let me just show you my screen. So this is who we are, EFXCO. We are based in Cyberjaya. We are a center which teaches creative skills. Yeah. Okay. And this is the software that I was talking. This is the offer that I was talking about. So if you download the software, you can now use it for 90 days. That's 3 whole months, and you can download for Mac and Windows version. And after which, they'll give you a 50% discount for the softwares, all of them. Yeah. So they have Affinity Publisher, which is very familiar, very close to Adobe InDesign, and they have Affinity Photo, which I'm going to be talking about today. This is what Photoshop is, yeah. And we have Affinity Designer, which is very close to Adobe Illustrator, vector drawings and whatnot, yeah. So they also have an iPad version, so it runs on Mac OS, Windows, and iPad. So if you buy now, it's only 104 ringgit 90 cents. It used to be about 200 ringgit, I think. Okay. For those who are watching this from outside of US or outside of Malaysia, sorry, you might want to log in into the website, and I'm sure you will see your own currency in there. Okay. So right. Okay. So recently, Affinity came out with a 1.8 version, and it's a game changer basically, right? So right now you have things like you can import PSD files, you can even export PSD files. There's a lot of other features that you can see from here. Yeah, they have a raw files that they can edit right within the application. There's no jumping to other application. Yeah, brushes. Photo stitching, that's right in the software. Selections, I'll show you some bits of selection a little later. The pen tool, it does HDR, 32-bit workflow, and you can run it on Mac, Windows, and your iPad. And by the way, the iPad is a full-fledged version, not a watered-down version. What you get on Affinity Photo on your desktops, exactly what you get on your iPad. Okay. All right. So let's jump into Affinity Photo and see what we can do in there. Okay. By the way, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. So I'll be able to pick it up, and hopefully Hakim will help you with that as well. Yeah. Okay, so this is how Affinity Photo looks like. Let me just switch the screen. I'm okay. I think the screen is okay. Okay, if you found for some reason you can't hear the audio, you're not able to see the screen, do let us know. Yeah. Okay, so this is how Affinity Photo looks like. I'll do a very quick run through of the interface. When you do a file new, you'll get the same interface as what Photoshop has. You can change your presets. Yeah, this is new in 1.8 now. You can even save as template. Let's say we're using something over and over and over again. You can do it just to use a set template. Yeah. On the left hand side, you will see that you have all the tools that what we have in the other software. You have your context sensitive control bar on top. So if you click any of the tools, this bar here will change accordingly. Yeah. And you have, so by the way, the interface is totally customizable. You can change the icons. If you want to make it look exact like Photoshop, you can do that. And we have panels over the right side. Yeah, we got the histogram, the color, the swatches, the brushes, the adjustments, like what we have inside the Photoshop, layers, effects, all the layer effects are built in. Sorry, these are live effects. Yeah, you have your styles, and this is the one that I like a lot. That you have access to stock images right within Affinity Photo from Unsplash, Pexels, and Pixabay. This is awesome. This I like this a lot. Okay, I'll show you some stuff in a bit. Okay, at the bottom you have your navigator, your history panel, and your channels and your transform. All right. So talking about interface, if you're familiar with the keyboard shortcuts from Photoshop, you'll feel right at home. You have your Command plus and Command minus, the zoom out. You have your space bar to become the hand tool, yeah, or H in this case, to move around. Okay, and if you have played around with the panels for the workspace, yeah, for some reason you might want to move things around, or maybe on the second monitor, you can just reset the whole thing again by going to View. Where is my Studio? And then right at the bottom is Reset Studio. Yeah, and everything will go back as normal. Okay, because some designers, they like put things around, they move layers around, or they may move panels around as well. All right. So inside of Affinity Photo, this is not something that familiar with Photoshop. The panels are called in the studio. Yeah, it's inside the studio, and you can see all the panels are available there. Cool. Right. So let's show you how you can do the import of images. Okay, so I'm going to make a new file new, and I'm going to use this a preset. I just made a preset for Facebook. Yeah, so I'm going to look on the right hand side here. I'll just zoom in a bit. You can see that we have all the settings that we need, right? And I'm just going to click on create button, and this is your canvas. Yeah, it starts off with your hand tool built in. Okay, and I'm going to import an image from the stock panel. Okay, so you can go to Unsplash, Pexels, or Pixabay. I'll use Unsplash. Let's get some images for cars. I just type in cars and then press enter on my keyboard. Here you go. All the images are here. Yeah, you can scroll down all the way and more images will be loaded up. So let's choose an image. Let's say, for instance, let me try and see whether we have any. Just use any image then. I'll try this image. So all I need to do is click on it and drag and drop into your canvas. Yeah, you'll see a green plus sign, and that's the image. So I'm going to zoom out. You can see how big this image is. If I use my move tool, click on it, that's how big the image is. Okay, so I'm going to make it smaller or just fit the screen. I'm going to hold down the edge of the image and hold down my command key and bring that right in. Okay, command 0 to zoom in. So that's the image. Yeah. Okay, so that's how you transform images. And if you have this snap up here, if you have this snap tool enabled, the image will snap to the edge. Okay, let me just zoom out a bit and bring that a bit more. There you go. Right, command 0. All right, so after which we can do all the adjustments under the adjustment panel. You have your hue, saturation, and lightness. Yeah, you can change the image as you like. Yeah, and once you're done with this panel, just close it. And if you go back to your layers panel, you can see that there is an adjustment layer created for you right on top of that layer, just like in Photoshop. And that white bit there is actually your mask. That is the adjustment property, and that's the mask. Yeah, and you can on and off your layer by clicking on this check mark. Yeah, if you need to lock the layer, we have a lock layer icon up here, and now it's locked. Okay, you have the usual opacity, you have your blend modes. But by the way, this blend mode while scrolling was already inside of Affinity Photo for quite a while. And if I'm not mistaken, Adobe Photoshop just had this about one version ago. How cool is that? All right. Okay, so that's how you bring an image, and you're going down to stock. I feel that this is one of the best features in Affinity Photo that I've seen, because in Adobe, you will have to subscribe to their stock site to get images in. All right, but this one is totally free, and you can use it as a template or a placeholder for now. Or you can use actually, because this is all royalty-free images. Okay, right. Um, how about cropping and straightening? This is some of the features I'm going to show you as I go down from here. This is your crop tool over here. Yeah. So let me open up an image. Let me just close this down. Not use this anymore. So I'm going to go to File, open a file that I've prepared. Straighten tool. Okay. Here we see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Okay. Obviously, it's supposed to be like that, but I want to straighten this building up. Okay. I'm going to go down to my crop tool, and up here you can see that you have the straighten tool. Right. Build that in. Click on it, and then use your command on the Mac or control on Windows. Just follow according to the slant that's on the building. There you go. Okay, that's done. And you might ask me, oops, I'll do, let me try that again. Go back to my crop tool. I didn't hit apply, so I should hit apply or enter on my keyboard. Command and drag. and then apply. Okay, so if you want to remove this transparency stuff, obviously you can go and crop it. Okay, but let me show you something more. Crop it will be just removing stuff, and then you lose some part of the image. So we don't want that, right? So how cool is this? So now you can do something like this. I would like to rasterize this image. If you notice, this image is a pixel image. Yeah, it's a pixel. Pixel means it's a, in Adobe means it's a smart object, and it's just an image. So I like to right click and I'll go to rasterize the image, rasterize and trim. Yeah, and I've got the image now rasterized. You can see now it's called pixel. So I'll go to, I'm going to go down to select, and I'm going to say alpha range and select partially transparent. Okay, so select the layer first. Let's do that again. Select alpha range, partially transparent. Okay, so you got some transparency selected there. Okay, you can see the marching ends. So I'm going to just adjust the selection so it goes in about 2 pixels. So I'm going to go to select again, and I'm going to say grow and shrink, and I'll give it about 2 pixels, right? And apply that. And here's where the magic is. Go down to edit, in paint, click, voila, right? So it fills up automatically for you. So this is like the content aware fill in Photoshop. So it exists inside of Affinity Photo. All right, so let's move on because time is running fast. I didn't realize it was the 20 minutes. Let's talk about, so when you save this file, you have an options of saving this as a PSD file and PNG and whatnot. So I'll go to file and I'll say save as. Yeah, I'll say save as, and you can see the options of saving as the Affinity Photo native file, or you can file and they say export. You can go down and choose any one of this. Yeah, so you got PNG, JPEG, GIF, PSD files, PDF, SVG, EPS. So you've got a plethora of choice of what you want to use. All right. Not only that, you also can save your history. All right. So if you have done a lot of editing to the image, you can save history with the document. I'm not sure whether Photoshop has this option, but it's available in Affinity Photo. This is awesome. Yeah. You can also edit in Designer, Publisher, so they can go through to one another. Right. So let's go on to the next one. Let's talk about the in-paint tool, which is, I think, is awesome. Let me open up another image here. File open, for recent. I'm going to open up the in-paint brush. This is awesome. Okay, so we've got some birds on a wire, and obviously because of Corona 19 now, we want to tell people to distance themselves. So this is what we're going to do. All right, with my layer selected, I'm going to go and grab a tool called the in-painting brush tool. There you go. Yeah, and at the wire at the bottom here, I need to get rid of it. You click and drag, and it disappears. Cool. How about these birds? So we want to distance themselves, right? So I'm just going to take and just paint on this guy. That's gone. Paint on this guy. It's gone. Amazingly that the wire is still there. And just to make things more lively, distance yourself. Right. Okay. So you can use the in-paint tool to remove things, just like the content-aware fill tool inside of Photoshop. Let's talk about, let me see here. Okay, I've got another file to show you. File, let's open recent. I've got, okay. So this is an image like that I would like to enhance. I'm going to show you how the pen tool works. Okay, we don't need this curve. You can just click and drag into the trash. All right, so I'm going to enhance this image a bit by showing you how I can use a pen tool to add more ray into this image. Okay, so I'm going to grab my pen tool. By the way, the keyboard shortcut of pen tool is P, right? And I'm going to just create some nodes or points or whatever you want to call this. Yeah, at the edge here, make some notes here. I'll go back to the beginning. So you can see that I have these lines, the blue lines. Yeah, and I want to turn this into something which is white in color. Put it on the color, just make it pure white. Okay, just hold on to your horses. Let's see what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my effects and introduce a Gaussian blur, and let's crank that up, yeah. And I'm going to now go back to the layers panel and change the blending mode to something like soft light. Okay, I think you can see where I'm going from here. And after which this tool, this pen tool, you can add more nodes by going down to the pen tool and clicking on the node tool, and you can adjust. I'm going to bring this to the edge. Give it no more of that nice ray that's coming from there. Okay, I can add more here. I can just click on it and adjust, yeah, how big I want the ray to be. And let's give it a nice warm feeling, yeah, something like that, right? I can just go in and change to make it even nicer. Okay, so you can see before and after. And if you go back to the hand tool, there you go. Yeah. Okay, so I know I have only half an hour to show this stuff. If you guys wish to see more, perhaps you can put in the comments. I can put a longer session, maybe an hour session, to go through the other tools. I've got tons of more stuff to show you guys, but this is just a very short session just to talk about the offer that's given by Serif. Okay, I really hope you guys do take advantage of the offer, because it's something that you cannot what do you call that? Something that you guys cannot ignore. Yeah, because I think it's a good offer. All the features that you have in Photoshop, you have it in Affinity Photo, and there is a fraction of the price. Yeah. So if you feel like that you need to if you feel like that you need to have more training, there's a lot of tutorials on their website. Yeah, and feel free to go down to the website and look at the tutorials. And if you live in Malaysia, if you are near us, and if you want to learn more about the Affinity softwares, you can always go to our website. Okay, we do teach these courses, Affinity courses. We have all 3 courses lined up for you guys. Do let us know. Send us an email. Okay, so that's it for me for today. If I'm gonna do another of this session at 4 p.m. Malaysia, and it's about a few hours time. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed my short session. So I'll see you a little later. I'd like to thank Hakim, my moderator, for looking into the questions. I'm not sure if there's any questions or not, but even if you are just not, you haven't having any question, just say hi to us. Okay, so I'll catch you guys later. All right, bye bye.